Erica Werner is a congressional correspondent for the Associated Press. You just heard Chuck Schumer there. He called last night the magic moment of McCain. So, Erica, is the Obamacare repeal effort essentially dead? Is this it?
I think that it is, certainly for the foreseeable future. What happened last night or early this morning was really shocking. I mean, it was very unexpected and unusual that something would happen in the United States Senate that is so unpredictable in this manner. Senator McCain was expected to vote for this skinny bill. He, as you know, had returned to the Capitol after a brain cancer diagnosis earlier this week and looked like he was going to save the GOP health care efforts. He cast a decisive vote to open debate, but when it came to the final vote, he voted no. And what comes next remains to be seen, but it's not going to be repealing Obamacare.
And it seems as if Senator McCain, I don't know what to make of it, is proud of that vote. We're watching the video where he holds out his hand steady past when another senator's name is called. He knows everyone's waiting to see what he would decide. Hours earlier, reporters were trying to find out what his decision would be. He said, wait for the show. And then he has that dramatic thumbs down. So he knows full well what he's doing. He's flying in the face of really orders from President Trump, who now says let Obamacare implode. So what happens in these next few stages? What would that mean? And I guess, you know, Democrats are trying to get a bipartisan approach to fix some of the holes in Obamacare. But if things continue as they are now, what would that look like?
Well, despite the rhetoric from President Trump and the Republicans that Obamacare is on the verge of imploding, most healthcare experts do not think that that will actually happen. There are a lot of problems with Obamacare just in this really small slice, the individual market that a small minority of Americans participate in. It needs to be shored up, and it's likely even necessary that there will be some bipartisan work to do that in the months ahead. But I think in the immediate term, the next few weeks, as Congress heads out eventually on its August recess, Republicans like Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell will be kind of licking their wounds, and once they come back in the fall, we'll see what they do. But McCain, as you said, they're thrust a dagger in the heart of his party's efforts and his own promises for years to repeal Obamacare. And of course, President Obama is the man who defeated him in 2008 for the presidency. So the ironies and the drama are really rich here. Yeah,
the symbolism as well. Erica, all week we heard President Trump cajole senators to pass repeal and replace. He even threatened some of them. But President Trump never got into the substance of the bill. In other words, what policies he actually supports other than just repeal of Obamacare. Does he bear some responsibility for this failure of repeal to progress?
Oh, absolutely. He never laid out what are his principles? What does he want the bill to look like? Nor did he go out into the country to sell the bill, go to districts of vulnerable members or Democrats who could be flipped to make the case. He did none of that, in direct contrast with President Obama, who worked the country and worked the Congress to sell the Affordable Care Act in the first place. All the president did, President Trump, really was go on Twitter and threaten some members and make some comments, and usually that was contradicted by the next tweet he would send out. So definitely a lot of responsibility here, and especially with the Russia investigation continuing, the president just does not have a lot of sway with members of Congress. They don't fear him to the extent of doing what he says, and they didn't do what he said.
And Erica, is that the most long-standing outcome we'll see from this failed effort to repeal and replace Obamacare? The president's frayed relationship with his own party. You have, you know, he tries to, you know, lead by tweet by banning transgender individuals from serving in the military. The leaders of the military say that won't happen. You have his attacks on Attorney General Jeff Sessions, a former senator who is liked very well in Republican circles, that's also being viewed as a road down that the president shouldn't head down. What is the relationship between President Trump and his own party at this point and during this August recess?
Well, it's really very frayed, as you were just saying. he's kind of sending out orders and signals that are being ignored on all fronts, from health care to the Attorney General to the transgender ban that the military is kind of saying no thanks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the fall when there is a packed agenda for Congress, not only on what Trump's priorities are, including tax reform, but also on things that need to happen in order to keep the government running. The spending bills that expire September 30th, you need to pass those to keep the lights on. And then there's the debt ceiling that needs to be raised. I don't know how the president is going to be able to do any of that without better cooperation and coordination with members of his own party and the opposition party.
All right, Erica Werner with the Associated Press joining us there from Capitol Hill. Thanks very much.
Thank you.